Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports With. Sports With. What's going on, folks? It's your Sports With host here, Lee Von Whitaker. Folks, I know I've been gone for a while. I've been attending to my education. Finally wrapped that up. We're here today. I'm glad to be back to tell you about the Colin Kaepernick story. Everybody's been asking my opinion on this. I'm excited to be back, speaking to you guys, telling you the truth on this matter. And I don't want to waste any more time. So we're going to jump into it. Again, we're talking about Colin Kaepernick, the guy that hasn't been in the NFL for 3 years. The guy who just recently had a workout this past Saturday with the NFL that he didn't show up to. To start this off, folks, we'll do a little something for you, okay? Because I have so much to say. I'm going to tell you right now, it won't all get said in this here episode. There will be a couple of episodes, okay, 2 or 3. And if you're interested in being on the show, you make sure you contact me. This is an important matter. I want to hear what people have to say. Leave your comments. Let me know what you got to say. To start things off, I'm going to talk about what was in the NFL statement letter on Colin Kaepernick because he did not show up to Saturday's 3:30 workout with the NFL with 25 teams in attendance at the Atlanta Falcons practice facility. This is how it started. The statement. Just some brief points. To start things off, Cap informed the NFL at 2:30, half hour before he's expected to be there for the workout. The NFL, in their statement, said these words exactly. Today's statement was designed to give Colin Kaepernick what he has consistently said he wants. I don't know if the NFL executives or a person that wrote this statement likes to play words with friends. But this is just wordplay here, folks. Consistently said he wants. Versus them giving him the opportunity he was willing and deserving to have. You can make this about what he asked for versus what you should have been giving him a long time ago. But you're going to say this is about what he asked for because you've seen his highlights all over social media over the last 3 years. Why did it take you 3 years to give him this opportunity if you knew he wanted this opportunity within the last 3 years? I'm going to continue on. They said that the Falcons were going to video the workout. They were going to shoot the interview, shoot the workout, send it to all 32 teams in the NFL, right? My speculation comes in and tells me that they possibly were going to edit this film too, right? Just makes sense. It was going to be shot by the Falcons, given to the NFL. The NFL was going to edit it and send it out to all 32 teams. They were even going to give Colin Kaepernick and his camp raw footage in the edited version of the workout. Okay, moving on. They invited Cap's agents to suggest interview questions. Again, wordplay. Suggest. You can give us your list of questions. You can tell us what you might be thinking about asking. But it ain't going to matter if we don't like it. Because this is our show. We run this. For all we know, they gave him the opportunity to answer, to accept the tryout, the workout on a Tuesday, last Tuesday, okay? At 10:30 in the morning for a Saturday workout. Gave him 48 hours to respond, which means you probably got to get your questions in by Friday, right before the workout. They may or may not be accepted. Moving on. They agreed to allow him to bring his own receivers on Friday, which is when they agreed to this, when initially they denied the request. Moving on. Coach Hugh Jackson, the man that's going to run the show, run the workout, informed Colin Kaepernick of the type of workout he was having, all the drills, everything that he was going to have to go through in front of the 25 teams that were going to be there. In addition to that, they claim to have sent a standard liability waiver based on the waiver used by National Invitational Camp at all NFL combines and by NFL clubs when trying out free agents. Well, the lie detector determines that was a lie. This supposedly was not the standard workout waiver, liability waiver. This was a waiver that was in favor of the NFL, but we'll jump into that here in a little bit. Next up, the NFL Heard from Colin Kaepernick on Friday that he wanted his own media there. Also heard that he wanted to be open to the public so that everybody can see with the naked eye. They denied that. No, you can't have your own media. This is our show. No, this cannot open to the public. Cannot be open to the public. This is our show. We're running this. Okay? We're gonna control what we can control, which is everything, because we're the NFL. You control what you can control, which is your arm, your workout, how you perform during this workout. We'll let you have your receivers. Everything else is ours. What we say. In addition to that, they're going to allow Cats representatives to be on the field and see how things are being recorded. They also claim to have claims that Colin Kaepernick's relocation that he gave them just an hour or a half hour before the workout was scheduled was over an hour away. Now, I've heard reports say it was 45 to 50 minutes away. I've heard reports say it was 51 miles away. I don't know what's true. I could really care less. At the very end of the letter, it reads, Colin's decision has no effect on his status in the league. He remains an unrestricted free agent, eligible to sign with any club. In other words, folks, this man is in the same position he was in for the last 3 years. We'd be damned if we let him back in the NFL. He's in the same position. Folks, here's my thing. Right out the gate. I don't have a problem with Colin Kaepernick changing the location. I don't have a problem with it. I do not care. I want to say this about the NFL waiver. It was not a standard waiver. Instead, it was to relieve the NFL of encountering another lawsuit from Colin Kaepernick in his camp, as he sued them for before, a couple of years ago, in a collusion case, and won. Now, the amount that he won, how many millions of thousands he got out of that lawsuit, it can't be said because it's under a non-disclosure agreement. Secrets kept by the NFL. Neither party can say anything. I believe that was on the NFL to initiate that type of agreement. In addition to that, the suspicions that I have when it comes to this waiver reminds me of the feeling I got when I watched the movie When They See Us. And this is not to downgrade or belittle anything they went through. The Central Park 5 men and the people that played in the movie. This is not to downgrade or belittle that at all, because they're not even on the same scale. But what I mean when I say that it reminds me of that is when the children and the families were rushed to, agree to certain intentions from the people in the police department there or that was guiding the case. This is what this reminds me of when they say you got this much time, you got 48 hours to sign this agreement, or you don't get a chance at this workout. Okay? You got this much time to sign this waiver, or you don't get a chance at this workout. See, the kids and the parents, and when they see it, didn't have any type of lawyers or anybody representing them to say, hey, man, this ain't right. Okay? Don't sign this. We'll take care of you. We've got your back. And instead, their backs against the wall, they had no choice in their opinion. But thank God, when we're talking about Colin Kaepernick and his party, his representative, thank God the lawyers called the red flags and said, this isn't a standard liability waiver. This is covering your butts. Now, rightfully so. You're the NFL. You don't want to lose any more money. You're a billionaire corporation, a private sector. You don't want to lose any more money. Understandable. But tell the truth, okay? Cap, moving on. After his workout, he comes out and he says, 3 things that really stood out to me. Stop running from the truth. Speaking of Roger Goodell and the NFL executives, we have nothing to hide. That being the Kaepernick party, the representatives, nothing to hide. Which takes me back to the non-disclosure agreement. We don't want to hide how much I got paid. We don't want to hide what the agreement was. But the NFL does. So we cooperated. They also had concerns that the video would be edited, but not in the favor of Colin Kaepernick. This is in the hands of the NFL. They can do with it what they please. I can understand where Colin Kaepernick and his representatives are coming from at that point. Why would you, in heaven's name, trust the NFL with your tape? I get it. Yeah, the Falcons, they can tape and record from wherever. It's a great facility. State of the art. That doesn't mean that Colin Kaepernick's party does not have state of the art equipment. That don't mean it couldn't be set up. Now, maybe not as fancy as the Falcons facility because they were at a high school outside. But nonetheless, control what you can control. And that's what Colin Kaepernick did. He controlled what he could control by moving the workout to another facility. Should it have been 51 miles away, 45 minutes away? No, but he may have had some kind of connections with the school board to get that location for himself. Now, I have a few more things to say here, folks. And I have a script here because I can go on and on and on about this. And I don't want to get off script. I believe that Colin Kaepernick actually wants to play in the NFL. But I do not believe that Colin Kaepernick wants to ignore what's right and what's wrong. He doesn't want the NFL to ignore what they've done to keep him out of the NFL for the last 3 years. Okay? People say that Cap knew this was a PR stunt. Let's say he did know this was a PR stunt, which I believe it was. It mattered to his camp that they got out of this what they could, which to get some NFL teams to show up. 8, to be exact, out of the 25 that were going to show up at the practice facility. 8 of the 25 that did show up at the practice facility, the original practice facility, at the Atlanta Falcons practice field. 8 out of the 25 that showed up originally at the original location came to the second location. Okay? They believe that this is going to be misconstrued either way it went. Whether that was tampering with the video, with the editing, whether that was snugging him just to say, hey, take this opportunity, you're still not going to get in. No matter what the case may be, I believe that Cap's party, his representatives, thought that there was no way in hell that he would actually be in the NFL again. So why not get the best out of it you can? Why not control what you can control? To say the least, Colin Kaepernick had to accept, because if he did not accept, this would look very bad on him. Oh, you've been begging for the opportunity this whole time. We give you the opportunity, we give you the chance to take the workout, and you don't even show up. You don't even accept. He had to accept. But he also had to control what he could control. And that's by moving to another location. Moving forward. Let's say this wasn't a PR stunt, okay? And Colin Kaepernick was just supposed to show up, do his job, work out, get it over with, and wait for an NFL team to call him in 2 weeks, as Stephen A. Smith mentioned. Well, if that's the case, I don't believe that Colin Kaepernick should have showed up in a Kunta Kinte shirt. As a black man, I don't care. As a black man, I have no problem with it. I don't care if he showed up shirtless. Doesn't matter to me. But if I'm a white executive in the NFL, I don't see that. I'm just thinking what they really think. I don't know for sure. I'm just putting myself in their shoes. The Kunta Kinte shirt wasn't a good idea. I'm not in any way saying that Colin was all the way right or the NFL was all the way wrong. No. There's some wrongs and some rights on both sides. There's some points that can be made on both sides on why they took the action that they did. Like I said, I have no problem with the NFL understanding that this is a time when we can say, hey, we don't want to go through another lawsuit with this guy. Let's have him sign this waiver, but don't lie. That's my problem. Now, Colin Kaepernick probably shouldn't have showed up with the Kunta Kinte shirt on. That's neither here nor there. It happened. It doesn't control how he's performed, and that's part of the problem now. You're looking at the outside appearance versus what he can actually do for your team. I have a problem with it. To move forward, if the NFL, you're Colin Kaepernick, right? If the NFL has not given you any reason in the last 3 years to trust them, why would you believe them now? Okay? I have no reason. Why not be suspicious? You have reason to be. I haven't given you a job in 3 years. I'd be suspicious. I hear people talking about how this can be compared to your everyday interview. Colin Kaepernick showing up to an interview, he should have been prepared. He should have came and showed up with a workout was originally planned to. That's an interview. He shouldn't have showed up with the Kunta Kinte shirt on. This is an interview. Hold the heck up. Stop the BS. This is not your standard interview. This is not your standard everyday average Joe job. I don't care if it's six figures or not. This is the NFL. They pay millions to play ball. So this is not your standard everyday job. Okay? This is not Stephen A. job. This is not my regular job. Not your regular CEO or anybody like that. So don't compare it to a regular interview. It's not. This is professional sports. They get paid to play ball, millions. Okay? There's no comparison. If the NFL is allowed to make up their own rules and regulations, and people believe everything they say, or majority of it, why isn't it okay for Colin Kaepernick to move in the same footsteps, to move at the same pace, have his own rules, have his own regulations? Because he doesn't have to do what the NFL says. Just because they're the NFL and they're the employer and he's the employee doesn't mean you have to do what they want you to do. At the end of the day, you're trying to get a job, yes, but this is the NFL. It's about what's right and what's wrong. He has to make that very clear. I will not play if it's wrong. Come out. Tell the truth. Stop hiding. Okay? This sounds so much, as I go on and on about this, sounds so much about like shut up and dribble. Just shut up and play football. Here's the thing, folks. It should never come down to just football. It should never come down to football over racial oppression. It should never come down to football over police brutality. It shouldn't come down to that. I had this argument or debate with somebody on Facebook. Hey man, this ain't that. This should never come down to just football. Ever. Not in the circumstances that Colin Kaepernick is in right now. Okay? We can talk about guys who are in the NFL right now and say, hey, there's other guys like Colin Kaepernick not in the NFL. Who the heck is he to believe that he can take these actions when there's 100 other people who haven't even gotten a chance in the NFL but are still sitting at home? Well, I'll tell you who the hell he is. He's a guy that's been denied the NFL opportunity, denied the opportunity to play in the NFL over the last 3 years. Everybody else ain't got a story like Colin Kaepernick. He's the only one as far as I know. Anybody know something different, you let me know. But he's the only one over the last several years to face this scenario. So no, let's not start that argument. Throw that BS to the side. Colin Kaepernick's situation is different. What he has to go through is different. He's not just standard average Joe sitting at home looking for a job, looking for a shot at the NFL. You know, he's in the NFL and he's been pushed out since. So it's not right. Now I want to move on from that. Give me a second, okay? Moving on from that. I want to say something, a couple of scenarios, speak on some things that revolve around black men and women in the community, okay? And what we deal with in everyday life regarding what Kaepernick originally kneeled for. Police brutality, okay? If I always see black men and women getting pulled over, you know, getting killed for innocent actions, at some point, it clicks in my head to be aware, to be skeptical, to speculate, okay? When I get pulled over, have thoughts in my head of what I've seen, okay? On social media. You know, and it saddens me that I have to feel that way sometimes. I feel like I'm in danger when I get pulled over. I feel like when I'm told I was speeding, then in actuality, it might be something else. Something else happens to be just the color of my skin that I'm getting pulled over by a white police officer. I'm getting racially profiled. You know, I was telling my friend the other day, we were having lunch, and I told her, I said, when I'm driving, I do my best to make sure my wallet, if I were to get pulled over and a cop asks for it, and my wallet is easily accessible. Sometimes I like to make it visible so I don't have to say, hey, can I reach right here? Or I can just let them know, hey, my wallet's right there. Can I grab that for you right quick so I can grab my license for you? But then there are other times when I'm a little bit afraid, unfortunately, as a black man. 26-year-old black man, okay? I have a master's degree. I have a bachelor's degree, of course. I have plenty of certifications. I've been working in the field of IT for 5 years now. I've been doing broadcasting for 5 years now. And I'm afraid when I get pulled over that I'm seeing it as a threat. And when I go to the gym sometimes, or when I go to sporting events where I'm actually active, whether it be basketball, football, things of that nature, most of the time I put my wallet in my gym bag and I place my big black gym bag on my passenger side seat. Okay? And from there, I'm driving, and it can be a multitude of things, but most of the times when I see a cop, whether he's behind me or I see him at the intersection, I take my wallet out, or I might just have a thought, hey man, take your wallet out. You don't know what's going to happen. It's nighttime or it's daytime. It's a busy traffic time of the day. Take your wallet out, place it on top of your gym bag. Make it visible so that you don't have to dig in your gym bag or ask the officer, can you dig in this big black gym bag to get your wallet out so that you can give him your license. Those are the things that I think of. I told my friend this and I said, that's what I think sometimes as a young black man. Well, all that's going on for me, that's how I have to think sometimes. That's how I choose to think. And her response was, I don't like that you have to think like that. No black man or woman should have to think like that. Nobody should have to think like that. No matter what the race is. We shouldn't have to feel and think that way. But I do. And what I've decided to do from that point on, after having that conversation with my friend, is to say, hey man, don't think like that. Oftentimes your way of thinking that can put you in situations. But that's just me. I can think myself out of certain things like that. Not everybody can. Not everybody will be given the opportunity to. And that's a problem. I want to say something right now. When we as black people, and again, I'm reading the script here because I don't want to get off topic because it's just a very emotional topic when we're talking about what Colin Kaepernick has been going through. When we as black people face racial scenarios such as getting profiled, wrongfully jailed, and things of that nature that have been happening for hundreds of years in different ways, the reality is, yes, we need to go with the program oftentimes in order to avoid making things worse with law enforcement. Okay? As black men and women, our parents, our families, when they're raising us, they teach us how to conduct ourselves with with law enforcement, okay? In situations where we get pulled over, so that we can avoid confrontation pretty much. To avoid being arrested, avoid being beaten, or even killed to the extreme. My father spoke to me and my siblings. We've had the conversations. I still, to this day, follow those same rules or guides that my father gave me when I was younger. Because I believe that law enforcement, even when they're genuine, you still have to be on your toes. And that's just unfortunate. Now, the unfortunate part about this is when things start to take a change, start to take a turn. Okay? When men and women are getting killed and taken to jail, such as Sandra Bland, such as Eric Gardner, such as Mike Brown, such as Trayvon Martin. Okay? That's when things start to get out of hand. Even more so than they were already. But when those things happen, let me ask you guys, what do we do as a black community? Okay? What do we do when we see that something like that is happening that's not right? And we think that the police officer and the police department needs to take some type of action on that police officer. What do? We rally, we march, we sign petitions, we fight for our rights. Right? So my question is, what's the difference between us doing that and what Colin Kaepernick has decided to do in this situation? I can keep going. We stand up, we make a point that it is right versus wrong, legal versus illegal, and what happened? What has happened that is wrong, some actions need to be taken to rectify what has happened to us as black men and women. Right? to a certain extent, and last but not least, what we do is we do things like file a lawsuit, right? We file this lawsuit and we go to court and film is watched of people in our communities, people of our color, black men and women, what they've gone through. We watch them get beaten, get killed, get taken to jail for no reason at all. Right? Well, I use that analogy, truthful analogy, a truthful example, to compare to the Colin Kaepernick situation. We go through lawsuits, right? The police department, or the city, the state pays the family of who they've taken their loved one's life away. They pay them millions, right? Thousands, millions, and they say, "There you go." That should shut you up. That should keep your mouth closed about anybody else that has to go through this type of unfortunate event. You should never speak again on anybody else in your community of your color who gets killed by one of our police officers. Right? They sweep it under the rug. So I ask you, what is the difference between that and what Cap has done? The NFL has not treated this man right for 3 years, wrongfully accused this guy, pretty much, for what he was doing on the field. Kneeling. Right? That was how it started. It made it about the military. Oh, you can't do that. You don't respect our military. You don't respect our armed forces. That's not what it was about. It was a man in armed forces who advised him to kneel instead of sitting. So you're wrong there. Right? Like I said, we dealt with this for hundreds of years. He dealt with it for 3. I don't believe that Colin Kaepernick is wrong in this situation, and here's why. He did what we do as black people when we face these type of issues, okay? When we face these type of issues, like I said, we rally, we petition, we go to court, we have lawsuits, we get a settlement, boom. Well, what did Colin Kaepernick? What did he do? He saw police brutality. He kneeled. He protested. He had guys like Eric Reed and Kenny Stills on his side, his community, right? Other guys, Michael Jenkins kind of in the mix in a supportive way with the NFLPA, right? Well, he moves forward, and then he's taken out of the NFL, right? He isn't given a contract, right? So they remove his opportunity to be in the NFL, such as being taken to jail. I won't go to the extreme of saying being killed, but you know what I mean. Well, what does he do after that? He files a lawsuit, a grievance lawsuit, for NFL owners, NFL executives colluding together to keep him out of the NFL. He files a lawsuit, he gets paid, he has to sign a non-disclosure agreement, so that the amount of the settlement is not released to the public. We'd be lucky if his girlfriend knows what the amount is, okay? And she's been by his side since day one, okay? He did nothing wrong but standing up for what's right. Which is why he said in his interview that he wants them to stop running from the truth, stop hiding. He wants to play in the NFL. I don't believe he's being a martyr. He wants to play, but not for the wrong reasons. Not for being ignored in the last 3 years by the NFL. Not for the NFL to say, shut up and come out and play football. Not for the NFL to say, I don't give a damn what you're kneeling about, come out and play football. No, address what's right. Nike did it, billion-dollar corporation. There are plenty of people that stand with Colin Kaepernick. Why can't the NFL be one of those sectors? Why can't the NFL be one? Be a supporter. Admit their wrongs. Okay? Come out and say the truth. Admit it. You are wrong. We see it. We just want you to say it. We know it. We just want you to say it. Folks, when it comes down to it, when it comes down to Colin Kaepernick, playing football without standing for what's right would make his story good. Right? But whether he plays or not, by doing what's right in this scenario, regarding these factors, regarding this matter, his story and his legacy will be great. Somebody once told me, you don't want to be good. That's an insult. You want to be great. Be great, Colin Kaepernick. Stand up for what's right, brother. What the NFL is doing is wrong. I don't care if they are the employer. It's wrong. They need to be held accountable for it. Colin Kaepernick deserves a job, but he does not in any way should he bow down to the NFL after what they've been doing to keep him out of the NFL. It's wrong. It's disrespectful. It's disgusting. That's all I have to say, folks. Y'all keep y'all heads up and have a blessed day. Thank you for watching another episode of Sports With. What's going on, folks? It's your Sports With host here, Levon Whitaker. I just want you all to know to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, be sure to follow me on sportswith.com. Thank you.